This is Dr. Lou Sella. I'm a doctor of sport and performance psychology, driving here in the endless mountains of Pennsylvania. And I was basically on X this morning and seeing a study that was done about Los Angeles Rams passing concepts. It was very interesting because if you study the Rams offense, the two greatest passes they have in their offense both involve in cuts. So whether it's their outside dig or their dagger concept, basically they're getting the ball to the middle of the field on an in cut. Then you got white cross, which all three of those concepts are getting about 18 yards on a completion because all the routes are designed to go 18 yards. And I know people will read that and they think how they can apply that to the triple option. But here's what you got to understand about the Flexbone triple option offense. Because of what you're trying to do, your passing game is utilized differently. 90% of the time, my clients get a post-safety defense, which is they get a safety in the middle of the field. That's the variable about the under-center Flexbone offense for high school. 90% of my clients get a single high safety defense in the middle of the field. The other 10% of the time, they either get split safety or no safety. But we're almost 9 out of 10 games there's a safety in the middle of the field. So what it does, and because of that variable, it forces you to focus on vert, which is basically you run the two receivers in a compressed formation up the hashes and then throw to the one where that's opposite of where the safety goes, or you bind the corner with boot. You can also bind the corner with switch, but boot is more effective because it totally isolates the corner, where switch is really designed to isolate the split safety, but just ends up putting more pressure on the corner. So that's why the vert concept, where you put the receivers 3.5 feet away from the tackles, run them up the hashes, fake the zone dive, drop back, and then throw to the receiver that is opposite of where the safety goes. That's the most meaningful concept my clients have. Then it's boot, then it's switch. So ultimately, you've got to get good at throwing against post-safety defenses, single high safety defenses. Because if you're going to run this the right way in high school, that's the reality of what you get. And to be honest with you, coaches, the last 16 years, that has held true. It's around 90%. 90% of the time you get a post-safety defense. 10% of the time you get either no safety or split safeties. So learn to deal with that. And it's not hard. Vert's going to be your number one concept. Boot's going to be your number two concept. Switch really isn't as important. And it really means that throwing the ball, you're better off throwing the ball from a compressed formation, from flex. Because frankly, you throw the ball out of flex, it's more effective. So there you go. That's just how Flexbone triple option passing works. So for those of you that are enamored with Sean McVay, which personally I think he's the best football coach in the world right now, I really do. I think he's the best coach in so many ways. I think he's got it all figured out. But frankly, in the NFL, everybody's on an even playing field. In high school, you guys are not on an even playing field. Some of you guys are handed rosters where you got kids that wouldn't be on your opponent's scout teams, and you got to figure out how to make it work. So when you run the under center Flexbone, you're going to get post safety defenses, and you got to learn how to throw vert and boot. That's that. Coaches, if you want to win big in 2026 and be like the 3 state champions I had last year, Scobie, Montana, Fort Sumner, New Mexico, Oak Hall, Florida, you want to be like them, pick up the phone and give me a call right now. 570-332-0265, 570-332-0265, and go to tripleoptionfootball.com/testimonials, where you're going to see 36 coaches tell you how they were bad and how they became elite after the Triple Option Football Academy camp and the online academy. What are you waiting for, guys? Give me a call. We'll talk.